You're welcome back. Tinubu approves incentive to unlock jobs effects from Shell's Bonga Southwest. In the major boost for Nigeria's economy, President Bola Tinubu has approved targeted incentives to fast-track Shell's Bonga Southwest deep-offshore oil project and other similar ventures. This investment-linked incentive, now set for gazetting, aim to unlock thousands of direct and indirect jobs, mercy foreign exchange inflows, and long-term government revenues. President Tinubu announced this during a meeting with Shell's global CEO and his delegation. He directed his special advisor on energy, Mrs. Olu, to ensure the incentive aligned with Nigeria and Nigeria's legal and physical frameworks. The president called for the measure disciplined, targeted, and globally competitive, stressing the one hot government earnings while boosting Nigeria's involvement in offshore engineering, fabrication, logistics, and energy services. Tinubu highlighted the project's strategic importance and reaffirmed his administration's focus on policy stability and regulatory speed to attract big energy investment. He noted Shell has poured nearly $7 billion into Nigeria over the past 13 months, including Bonga North and HI projects.
To assure you that what we promise is what we will deliver. I've given instructions for them to gazette all the incentives necessary. That is an addition. Then the thanks to the Shell organization for the development that Nigerians have gotten. Nigerian people, the talent that we have, the most important aspect of our resources is the talent of the people that we have in this country. And we don't promote that, it comes to nothing. It doesn't give value to us. Thank you very much. I assure you, you have no question to look at what we have promised. Expect a delivery. Expect a documented and consistency in policy and application going forward.
Shell's CEO praised the improved investment climate under President Tinubu, signaling growing confidence for long-term commitment.
I have to say, while you are blessed with incredible resources here underground, I'd argue one of the biggest resources I have been most impressed by is the talent that this country has, many of whom we are privileged to have in Shell, and many of whom work outside of Nigeria for Shell in multiple different locations. It is actually one of the largest groups of people working outside of their country is Nigerian staff who will come back one day and serve the country as well. Just in the last 12 months, we invested that $5 billion in Bonga North, $2 billion in HI, the gas project to NLNG. We have also acquired or deepened our interest in Block OML 118, the Bonga block. Total Energies was selling, so we bought because we want to deepen further. But that we think is not enough. We think there is more to invest here, and we understand the vision that you have for the country. And so we are indeed working on a project, Bonga Southwest, that could potentially, if we get to an FID stage, see us with the partners invest around $20 billion foreign direct investment, half of which will be capital, and the other half will be the operating expenses and the like that will come into the country. This will be one of the biggest, I would say, energy projects in the world.
And to discuss this development, I'm joined by Emmanuel Chime. He is a public affairs analyst. Mr. Emmanuel Chime, you're welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're all smiles. It's more like this development is good for you and good for the economy as well.
What happened is that the president rightly told us that it's strategic for economic revamp of Nigeria, right?
Okay.
And so we have to be happy about that, since our president said it's the best appeal that we need to take now. Okay. And so the truth is that Nigeria, and of course Nigerians, are quite expecting a whole lot from the area of our leadership, in the area of providing jobs for Nigerians. We have a lot of youths who are unemployed, inclusively the ones that are underemployed. All right. And so Nigeria have been yearning for opportunities from different places. So if this is one, then we'll say thank you. But meanwhile, we're yet to see the clarity of it. The incentives, what the incentives are.
Okay.
Why we talk this way is that that was just recently, it was just last week.
Should be taxes, incentive.
I want to see exactly what that means. I want to see that, because the truth is that there are a lot of incentives that including local investors have been begging for. I mean, Nigeria is a Nigeria today that is crying, deeply suffering. And the only answer that the president could give to us is to give us tax reform. That is deepening Nigeria into paying taxes. When Nigeria says we are suffering, we don't have anything to aid. We are suffering. We need help. And so the only thing we see the help and the solution that the president designed was to give us taxes to pay. Several of them. You pay at every corner. And so we want to see, perhaps, we are trying to preempt him. We'll see when it is being gazetted, then let's see exactly what the incentives are. Because he said incentives, not incentive. So it means it is being pluralized. And so what it means is that it's going to be, different too many things that you have done to attract this deal to be sealed. All right. And so we want to see part of them. And so if it is in the area of maybe tax holiday or thereabout, then we want to see more of that being given to including our local investors. I want to see clarity because we don't want to see a situation whereby a sitting president is giving out certain opportunities to some persons of interest because of pecuniary interest. So we want to see a president that will be straightforward, people's-oriented policies being blandished, all right? And not a kind of policy that will mortgage the future of the youths. For instance, some time ago, that was sometime mid-last year, we rightly heard about concessioning of Enugu International Airport.
Yes.
And looking at the entire thing that surrounded the charade, it was about over 80 years concessioning. And so you begin to look at it, you begin to ask yourself, does this kind of a thing ever happen anywhere else in the world? So why then is it happening not just in other place in Nigeria, but in Southeast, the only international airport that we have here? And so because of certain interest, because of the persons, behind the concessioning, the beneficiaries of the concessioning, all right? And so I want to see a president, a leadership that is this, people's oriented in policy making, public policy making, not a president that will cover a lot of tracks, and sell off Nigeria. Okay,
I just want to help you somewhere. So when it's finally gazetted and we find out that there is tax incentive there, what will be your reaction to it? And they are not offering the same to local investors already in Nigeria. What will be your reaction to that?
Because we're not hoping for the worst. Remember that. Then we are hoping that whatever is good for the goose is also good for the gander, right? And so we want to see where our local investors are being encouraged, super encouraged. Remember the mantra of the today president of America, America first.
America first.
America first, yes. Trump. So we want to see where a president of Nigeria will look out for intended investors in Nigeria. Begin to. For goodness sake, we have Ato Eze, for instance.
Yes.
This man is a man, recently, Senegal took away his license, his oil business license from Senegal. Right? Want to see, these are the guys that they have the capacity to invest in any sector in Nigeria. Can we give them certain incentives? Can we give them certain encouragement to say, go into these areas? So that we provide jobs for our people. It will be job creation by our people, for goodness sake.
Okay, why is the deep offshore project back? Why is it back again? Why do you think it's back in Nigeria?
All right, what you should know is that, prior to now, that was back then, 2024, sometime 2024, and Shell rightly opted to leave Nigeria.
Yes, they did.
Because of bad economy, because of bad policies that we are being established by this administration. All right? And so that's why we say we want to see those incentives
We need to.
Yes, we want to see them so that we'll be sure what is happening. Because if you see, for me,
yes.
I'm seeing whatsoever that that happened at Abuja or that is there about. I'm seeing everything that happened as being more cosmetic than real. So that's what we want to see it being gazetted. Let's see exactly. Let's X-ray, the entire details behind, this incentive that is being talked about, highly talked about.
Okay.
All right. Because whatever that will bring back Shell, Shell entirely the CEO, the global CEO, entered Nigeria, even telling the president before the camera that your administration has been the best ever. That they don't have any other place in the world where they are doing business in a very beautiful atmosphere like Nigeria. But the same Shell opted to exit Nigeria.
Yeah, because I am surprised. And come to think of it, Shell reportedly invested nearly $7 billion in just over a year. What does that say about investors' confidence in Nigeria today?
Now, that's why we say we want to see exactly that particular incentive. Let's see where that incentive brought Shell and where it is taking Shell to. And we want to see the details behind the incentive, because this is a country under this current administration that, including GSK, left Nigeria.
Very pathetic.
Including GSK, a pharmaceutical company left Nigeria after 51 years in operation in Nigeria, producing in Nigeria. They left Nigeria because of bad economy. They left Nigeria. Which one would we call? A lot of companies left, including Shell. Say we are leaving. We are selling off on auction. We are leaving. That the economy is killing us. So, and in turn now, let's say months later, into a year later, then we now see Shell global CEO coming to praise the president, then something must have happened behind camera. We want to see exactly what happened behind camera. And it is the onus lies on the media to unravel exactly what happened behind camera. And whatever they have been given to Shell should be given to our local producer, local investors, so that we'll be able to boost the economy.
We're not yet privy to what happened behind the cameras, but the president insists this incentive won't hurt government revenue. From an economic standpoint, is that sustainable? Do you think it wouldn't hurt the government revenue?
Do you know that the electoral result that brought in the president was announced in the midnight? I hope you're aware of that. And I hope you know that INEC, the electoral umpire, that announced that. They never told us that there was challenge, in the area of announcing it. In fact, they told us that they believed that it was the best that they have done. And in fact, the president sitting today told us that it was his mandate, that the people gave him the mandate. And all of a sudden, the national anthem now changed from normal national anthem to On Your Mandate We Shall Stand, including the National Assembly singing that. So when the president is telling you, it is the best for our economy, it doesn't harm our revenue generation tendencies or thereabout, then are you going to argue with him? He's the one behind the mic. So you have the mic currently. Do you know when we know exactly what happened? It's when power changes hand. When another person comes up to that seat. And so we begin to see a whole lot. Remember, we have Malami, that's San, our former AGF, who is today facing trials, right? Facing legal hurdles over issues of fraud. Remember that when he was there as the AGF, he was more like Nigerian God. He was more like Nigerian, he was more like the best, sinless in Nigeria. When he was speaking, he was talking more like, you are corrupt, go and carry him, this, that. He was the attack dog of the ex-president, ex-late President Muhammadu Buhari.
Yes.
He was the attack dog then, all right? But we never knew that it was this super sinful. We never knew that it was this filled with baggages. Not until this administration now came in. And not until he opted off from the ruling party.
Yeah.
And so we began to see a whole lot coming out from him. Sure. And so we're going to see more from this administration. Because remember, all that happened in the past, that linked up with Malami, then you discovered that it was most of the monies that were being repatriated, from Abata's loot. Okay. At the time, we were wondering, where are all these monies being received by Nigerians? Where are all these monies being kept? And so we began to see that the monies are being brought into Nigeria and relooted.
All right.
And so today, Malami is facing the tune because his team are no longer in office. So we're going to see a whole lot when this administration expires.
Yeah, finally exits the office. But let's talk about this project. What impact do you think it would have? And when would the economy start feeling the impact of this particular project?
We to see operation being gazetted immediately, okay? We to see operations, start taking shape immediately. And so when something being done, so what it's going to do is that a lot of job is going to be created if all things being equal. If all things being equal, a lot of jobs are going to be created, and so guys are going to get job. Especially within the value chain. Yeah. Guys are going to get job, okay? And so we want to see the clarity. That's where we're still pointing at the clarity of the entire thing that brought about Shell coming back to Nigeria.
Speaking about that, if this incentive succeed, what should be the next sector Nigeria applies this model to? The next sector. Apply this model to.
Yeah. If it succeeds, then I would say let's focus in the area of agriculture.
Agriculture.
Yes. Let's diversify the economy of Nigeria.
Really scratch that sector.
Let's diversify the economy of Nigeria. Our economy has been always all about the oil.
The oil, yeah, true.
But the truth is that fossil fuel is phasing out. The truth again is that our crude, we are not refining enough here by ourselves. It is being piped out of Nigeria. We know too well that crude is not only being made use of, in production of fossil fuel, petroleum, PMS, gas, and the other. We know too well. We know you can use it, including for production of perfume, in production of whatsoever, and a lot of things. But we are not doing those things here. That's why when they carry our crude, they go up there, they refine, out of the raw product, they now get out a whole lot of brands, a whole lot of stuffs, and sell back to us at a very costly values, and we'll buy. Yeah. So the economy of the world is changing. Yeah. Currently, they are telling us about renewable energy. Currently, they are telling us about, green economy. Currently, they are telling us about whatsoever that are taking a clear-cut drift from our own economic base. So why are we still mounting pressure, giving a whole lot of emphasis, a whole lot to the area of oil? Why not think about our area of agriculture?
Sure.
And again, the area of our mining of other basic rare earth minerals. We need to put eyes into those areas. These are why you see a lot of banditry in the north, especially in Zamfara State. All right. These are why you see Boko Haram insurgency is never anywhere anytime soon going to go down, because there is uranium over there, right in the deep forests of Sambisa. Uranium deposit right there. And so Nigeria is not yet accounting for mining of all these rare earth values. So we need to know about them. We need to put attention to those areas.
Yes, like you mentioned, agriculture, even the renewable energy, these sectors need to be looked into, and we need to scratch it even up to 98%. And the economy would actually be looking brighter. Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel Chim. I know you have a lot to say, but we do not have time. I really, really appreciate that. Was so insightful coming from you. The exposition, I would call it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Norma.
All right, that's much we can take on the Eastern Business Report. The Afia Business Morning returns on Monday. Many thanks for staying with us. My name is Norma Aniwene. Bye for now.